I would say things range from acute to severe. Yeah, I have some clients right now that are patients of Dr. Dale Bredesen, where Dr. Dale Bredesen is picking up specific mycotoxins, and people are dealing with like severe memory loss, like diagnosed with Alzheimer's type memory loss. Um, this isn't the brain fog you hear about where you're like, losing train of thought or, a little forgetful. This is like, I don't know who my husband is type of memory loss.
Mm.
And I think when we get to that level and all the work that he's doing is so amazingly important, he is literally reversing Alzheimer's. Now it's subtype 3 Alzheimer's, specific subtype of Alzheimer's, but he is literally reversing it by having people improve the quality of air they're breathing and removing toxins from their body. And I think it's remarkably interesting to see because honestly, he's really the first one to ever bring this point up that this is a problem. Um, Moving away from that, we have the more, I want to say the other side of extreme. There's a woman that I helped. Her name was Shannon. She lived in Florida. Shannon had over 3 years slowly declined in health. She had in that 3 year span, she had 2 kids. Her last pregnancy, for whatever reason, she ended up getting really sick after delivering the baby. So much so that she actually had to have a GJ feeding tube installed into her lower intestine. So essentially, she's basically getting food through an IV. Shannon was probably bedbound 95% of the time. She really couldn't do much. A mother of 3, her husband's a firefighter. It was a very difficult and traumatic and sad situation for that family. What happened was, as she started to go through this decline, her home had several leaks. And her husband did the noble thing of, taking off of work, going in and fixing up the home. At that point in time, he had no idea that this could ever turn out this way. She had no idea that this could ever turn out this way. And so they thought they had fixed the problems. In that 3 years, her health gets worse and worse. She goes to 40 different doctors. In that time span, the only thing she gets misdiagnosed with all these different conditions, finally finds a doctor that says, hey, look, yes, you have the telltale symptoms of all these different things. Yes, you have POTS, but I actually think one of the biggest problems that you're experiencing is mold in your home. I'd like to, mold and bacteria and water damage in your home. I'd like to do some testing for mold, if that's all right with you. She desperate, of course. Yes, anything that can help me get my life back. By the way, before all of this, she was a nurse practitioner. So she was in the medical community and would actively help people get better, right? And she loved what she did. You fast forward, she's not doing well. The mycotoxins come back in her body off the charts. Okay, well, you're getting exposed somewhere. Well, you've been pretty much bedbound for 3 years. So obviously you have to be getting exposed in your home. I get in touch with her. We go out, we send a team in to go do extensive testing, figure out where this stuff's coming from. We find the exact species of mold producing the exact toxins that were found in her body. Eureka, we've made a correlation, which, by the way, is a very relatively new way of correlating the home with the body. I just want to point that out. It's not, people aren't doing this all over the world. And once we made that correlation, we said, you need to move out. She rents an RV. She puts the RV on her property. She moves into the RV. So she goes from like a 2,500 square foot house to a 250 square foot trailer. Within 7 days of moving into that RV, I have not touched her house yet. Within 7 days of her moving into this RV, the GJ feeding tube is able to get removed for the first time in 3 years. For the first time in 3 years, she's bedbound maybe 50% of the time. She's starting to get her energy back. She's starting to feel better. We're now about 2 to 3 years after we had fixed her house, moved her back into her house. She is thriving again.